Hello and welcome back to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. I'm Jason. This is Jeff with Jeff's Midwest Gold Adventures. This is Gil, Prospector Gil. We're at Nugget Lake, Wisconsin again, and we're going to try to find some deposits of gold. I did a test pan upstream already, and it's darn near the same gold as I think we're going to have working right here where somebody else built the dam already. So we're off to a good start already. So don't go away. We're going to find plenty of gold today. Back in a bit.
Out for now. See you soon.
All right, before we get started, I'll show you what I brought today. I brought my big dog. Brought the big dog, and we got plenty of flow here. I'll just have to widen that dam out a little bit. Now, this has been here quite a while. I think the GPAA has been working down here. And these guys have another dam right over here. Looks like they're going to get set up. And first thing I did was I bypassed all this. I walked up there and I just did a test pan. And there was maybe 8 or 9 pieces, but they're decent sized pieces, not just the little tiny fly specks. And I came back this way and asked the guy that was working here what kind of gold he was getting here. And he had been digging right here. You can kind of see the ground still bleeding right here, sitting right on top of all that clay right there. And he was getting the same gold here, if not better than I was getting up there. And I think whoever was, there are multiple people were working here in the past, nobody's going to get it all. So we're going to try to get it all. If it doesn't quite pan out here the way I expect it to, I do have another spot where we can go and pan where there's not as much water flow, and I'll just have to pan and save concentrates. But one way or the other, we're going to have a pile of gold today. Rigby's running around here somewhere sniffing it out for me. Back in a bit. All right, we've got the sluice up and running. We've got excellent water flow going through here. I think just the right amount of pitch, great depth, where I can get my material to wash right on, off, and out of there. And Ty here was kind enough to let me use this pre-built sluice opening.
It's a perfect spot, and you got good material right there.
Absolutely. And I have a sample of that material ready to go right here. Now note the different colors in clay. There's a brown layer of clay right here, and on top of that there's a gray layer of clay. And now this stuff here isn't quite as dense as this one here, and it's solid, packed with material, sands and gold, I would imagine. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that on my sluice and see how this stuff works on off there. Now some of that clay might get by me while I'm only using one hand, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and I'll wash these rocks right off onto my screen like that. And that's what we want to do. Just shovel and wash. Shovel and wash. I see some of that material's getting caught in there, and there's a lot of swirling around action. That's doing the exchange for me. Heavies for lights, heavies for lights. All the way up. And I still got to get my bars in there to get my screen off of there, so we're going to be doing quite well. I'll pick this back up when I have something great to show you. Back in a bit. All right, now not that I don't trust the guy that told me there's good gold here too. So I've been poking around in here while I'm shoveling on my sluice. So I did a test pan, you know me, test. Well, there is some gold here. Now I did a relatively similar sized pan, and there's 5 pieces in there. Tiny little dots. I got some bigger specks up there. So I'm gonna put a couple more shovels on my sluice, do a couple more sample pans from up in this here area. And I'm gonna do another sample pan from up there where I was. And if it's better up there, well, I'll just fill up some pails, float them on down the creek, dump them on my sluice. Back in a bit. All right, I was doing some hooting and hollering. These guys come running. They're on their way back now. Rigby sniffed me out a good spot. I said I didn't get any gold halfway in between where I was sluicing right over in there into where I started here. And I just did another monster size heaping pan full, and look what I got. The biggest piece of gold I ever got anywhere. Look at that one. along with, I don't know, a dozen or so smaller ones. Comparatively, those are still bigger pieces for around here. But look at the size of that piece of gold right there. And guess what? I can pick it up. Look at that monster. Look out, Jeff Williams, coming for you. Woo! Well, guess where I'm going to stay working? Right here. Let me get a whole big pile of this stuff. I might just stay here and pan rather than falling all over these rocks. There's boulders scattered all over in here. I almost went for a drink a couple of times here. Rigby here, he don't mind hardly at all. He's having fun. And we are too. We're going to get some monster gold today. That is awesome. Back in a bit. All right. I invited Jeff and Gil to come on up and work this area too. Jeff just did a sample pan and he had some good gold in there too, a little bit bigger pieces.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like we found our spot today. That spot has obviously been worked quite a bit.
That's Pooter Alley down there.
Yeah, and this one hasn't. I think we're on it, and I think the reason being, in this particular location, I think it's going to be right along the creek edge here, maybe out just a little bit where this big tall bank used to be.
That stuff right there.
Here, we'll take a look at the material we're pulling out of here. Yep, that's the good stuff right there.
And it's kind of sitting on, it's on top of the hard clay, the gray clay. And it emulsifies when you get it in the water.
Emulsifies.
Yeah, there's a tactical word.
The word of the week, emulsify. Now this creek is pretty wide right here, but this is a little bit of an outside bend. And you can tell, because on that side of the creek, it's all sand, all right? Probably out to almost halfway. That's nothing but sand, so it's easy walking. But on this side, right from about center, this way, it's all cobbles like this. All right, and they're built right into the bank. So that water, in high water, is coming up and knocking material off this bank and dropping it straight down. Now it is washing some of the lighter materials off of the cobbles that are dropping out of the bank and all the black dirt, etc. And it's just leaving the cobbles, and what's underneath is obviously good gold, because we're pulling some great gold out of here. Here comes Gil. He's going to get in on the action. So we're going to get to work. I think I'm going to do some classifying here with my pail. We're going to get some gold. Back in a bit. All right, I got a great big classified pan right here. It didn't take too long to classify that down with my bucket classifier. It works quite well. And this stuff goes down to about 1/8 inch, which is really easy to go through with a super sluice pan. And again, that's what I'm doing is testing. Test, test, test. I like to see the gold, number one, but you always want to stay on the gold, number two, which is why I'm testing. Maybe I'll even get another great big piece like I just got before. That's why you test. And those big pieces are what keeps a guy coming back. Now when you're doing this, working with clay, you always want to make sure that you run your finger down in them creases, because that clay will get right down in there and stiffen up, and your gold will not go down there through that clay. Hopefully this doesn't take a million years. And I can already see a good amount of black sand forming on the back edge of this pan right here. See that? That's all black sand already. And that's another great indicator, is the black sand. A lot of times when I'm just looking for an area, I'm not, I won't waste my time trying to get all the way down to the gold. I'll just go down to as much black sand as I can find. Because around here, that's where the gold is, with the black sand. And typically it's sitting on that clay. So we do got a decent amount of black sand here. And I'm gonna go ahead and swap pans, throw this in my black one, and see if we got another big nugget. Back in a bit. All right, I think we're gonna stay right here. I'm still working in that same hole, and I just did a big test pan, test. And we've got, I don't know, 20 pieces in there. So no big nuggets like we had last time, but there are some pretty decent sized flakes in there, like that one right there. And a lot of little dots. So we are definitely on it. I think it's just gonna be a matter of working this very edge right here. We're gonna be in it. Everybody else is here too. Back in a bit. Video update. More people heard the hooting and hollering. They're coming from everywhere. But I just found another nice piece. There she is. Come on, you focus. Right there. Look at that. Oh, this camera's not playing nice today. There's another nice big flake. A lot of little small stuff in there too. We're still on it. Still working this edge right here. We're doing quite well. We're gonna break some more back. Back in a bit. All right, video update. I was just on my way over there to monkey around with the material behind that sluice over there, and I stopped over there to do a test pan, and I did find one nice wiry long looking piece here. All right, where the heck's that thing? Right there. Maybe we can get that on camera there. Sure, it's in there, right there. But as I was looking at that, Ty says, I think I got one bigger than yours. Look at that. Look at that piece right there. Big old nugget. Let's see if I can pick that one up. All day long. Doink.
Doink.
That is fantastic. Now he's digging right up along the edge here. Same spot as I got my big nugget. Right over on that edge right over there. And I think the reasoning we had before, all the materials dropping straight down and not being washed away with all the light stuff. 2 in a row like that, that's telling me we're right on the money.
Oh, it's awesome. Gotta come to Wisconsin for big gold.
Yep, we're known for big gold and brats.
Yes, there's no big gold in Iowa.
All right, well, let's get some more. Back in a bit. It's the Chris Lilly Rock of the Week. I found this baby up towards the bank there, where I've been trying to find another nugget, and it was just packed with clay. Look at this bad boy. It's got a big rust spot on there, all kinds of nooks and crannies. I got all that clay cleaned out of there. We're going to go ahead and give that a whip. I'm going to pan out the contents. There's a nugget in that contents of that big rock I just pitched, Chris. I'm going to mail it to you. That's a promise. Back in a bit.
As long as you got the phone far enough.
Nothing. Sorry, Chris.
See you soon.
You know?
Video update 3044. I've been working this whole bank here, bouncing back and forth from the bank to working in the creek, just trying to find one more big nugget. Well, I tell you what I did find. My back. She's getting sore. So I think I'm going to go back to my original plan, just take a little 5-minute break and shovel onto my sluice for a little while, because that's a lot easier. See if we can get some gold down there. Take a little break. We'll pick it back up in a minute. Back in a bit. All right, we made it back to the sluice. As you can see, there's a ton of water moving through that baby now. I think all those leaves and stuff are plugging up all the holes, so the whole darn creek's going over this thing. And I did a test pan. I'm not just gonna come over here and start digging right here without doing a test pan. There's all the boys over there. And we did find a little bit of color. Nice, decent sized piece too right there. I just did a real quick one, so I know there's gold here, and there's a lot more cobbles than this area looks like there is. So I think it might be right in line with what's going on with them guys there. This bank's all getting chewed out, same it is up there. Over there, you can see it's real shallow, and then the bank goes up right here, and then all this material is washing right straight down. It's a real high bank till it gets down to right about over there, and then it drops right back down again. So all this material is getting chewed out and deposited down into the creek here and concentrating. So I'm going to take a little 5-minute break and do some shoveling instead of being bent over panning. Back in a bit. All right, I've been shoveling on this sluice for a little while now, not an exorbitantly amount of time, but I have been pushing some really good looking material through here, fighting the leaves and fighting the clay and whatnot. So I want to peel that off of there real quick and see if I got any more nuggets, because I do not want to lose a big nugget, because we've been getting them today. So let's do that. There, just like that. Get rid of our legs. pull our mat. Just like that. And done. Let's get this in a pan, see if there's any gold in it. Back in a bit.
He speaks from experience.
All right, I've got my sluice up and out of the water, and I did a little quick brush back, and there was some decent gold in there. I wasn't shoveling all that long, so I'm pretty happy with the amount of gold we got, and they're nice big pieces too. Now don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of flower gold in there, but those are some really chunky looking pieces in there. And I could stay here and do that all day, I bet, but I'm going nugget hunting. I'm hooked. I saw that big nugget Ty had before, and that big one I got. I want another nugget, and I want it today. So I'm gonna get my stuff in a pile here, collect my dog, and we're gonna do a little walking around here and get me another nugget. Back in a bit. All right, we're done for the day. My back's on fire. On fire. I think everybody's backs are on fire. Everybody's standing around.
I know.
Except that guy. He just started when I hit play. I would like to thank Jeff from Jeff's Midwest Gold Adventures for teaming up with me today. We did find some great gold.
Oh yeah.
It's nice to compare notes. I learned a little bit from him, and you know, we lucked out. We found a great spot. Now, typically, I'm gonna run all my stuff home and run it over my cleanup sluice, but I will do a little dump today, just to show you what we got. Just snuffering. And so far, it looks pretty darn good. Let me try to get it all down on one end there, including that giant nugget. There's lots of black sand in there yet, but there is definitely some great pieces of gold in there. Look at that nice piece. And again, this is just what I've been pulling out of my snuffer today. I've got about 4 inches of black sands to bring back with me to run over my little cleanup sluice.
I don't call you the wizard for nothing.
Look at that stuff. Holy moly. We did well today.
Yes, you did.
And these guys did good too. He got the big nugget of the day.
Well, somebody had to get it.
Yep.
You fell in for that one.
Yeah, we might have to cut that in half. I mean, I found a spot.
I'll send it to you.
So that's going to wrap it up for In the Field. There's a whole bunch of people down there talking to Prospector Gil. He found some gold too. He's doing a little tutorial. Rigby's up on the bank. He's ready to get out of here and stop at Quick Trip. So we'll pick this back up at my shop. Thanks again, guys.
Later.
Thank you.
The new improved Chris Lilly Rock of the Week.
La 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 la.
Look at that baby. Oh man, would that fit in my mailbox?
Oops.
Well, we got a couple of big hills around here. Right there's the Rib Mountain. Starting to turn color too. Back in a bit. All right, we made it back to the shop. And as always, I'm going to separate that stuff into littles and bigs. I got my little kitchen strainer type utensil. I'll get my cleanup sluice all set up and ready to roll. I got some water in there. I just need to hook the battery up and whatnot. And we just might find some bigs today. It'll be my first, because we found some bigs out there. Back in a bit. All right, as per usual, here's all the gold that was in the bigs. Nothing. But we did get one. At least I did. I think everybody got one. So we'll begin feeding our concentrates over our cleanup sluice here. Looks like I need to turn it up a little bit. There we go, with my speed controller. There we go, now it's cleaning out. And I've got a good amount there, so let me get that run a little bit. If there's any gold to show, I'll show it. And if not, we need a new hobby. Back in a bit. I'd say we're about halfway done running. I just turned the water down on my sluice here so we could see some gold. And it's definitely showing up. Oh yeah. I've been feeding her in there pretty fast, so I'm gonna guess that there's some down in these. I turned this down so far so we could see it. It's not even roiling anymore, but I can turn that up here and get those get those drop riffles really moving. See that? All that gold that gets by the little top part right here gets trapped right underneath there. And it roils up to the front edge where there's a low pressure zone. Yeah, there's a piece of gold in there. Absolutely. All right, with what we got in that snuffer and what we're gonna have in here, this should be something to see. Back in a bit. All right, we're all done. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a pail, get this cleaned up a little bit. And to do that, I just turn this right to off. I grab it and I throw it in the pail. And I turn it back on a little bit. And I just rinse it out. Just like that. And done. Now my black sand and gold and whatnot's in my pail. Let me get that in a pan and we'll see what it looks like. Back in a bit. All right, here's all that gold up close and personal. My macro lens. Some nice little chunky looking stuff right there. I mean, they're not just dots. They got some really cool looking texture to them. Absolutely great. Typically, some of those smallest pieces in there is what I'm getting off the beach, but these here, look at them. They got some really great shape, including this bad boy right here. There's my nugget. Got that today, and both of those other guys got nuggets too. And I can take this macro lens right off of there, give you kind of a look at all of it together in real life form. Well, it's just here. I picked that right on up. Come here, you. Well, there it is. Gotcha. Another one. I think that's 4 this year. We are really on a roll. That's some great looking gold. Back in a bit. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Flower Gold Wizards. We got another picker. That's 4. We are on a roll. I'd like to give another special thank you to Jeff from Jeff's Midwest Gold Adventures and Prospector Gil for keeping me company today. Everybody got some great gold today, including Ty, who found the nugget of the day. Hopefully you can send me a picture and I'll include that in an upcoming video. Don't forget about my 7,000 subscriber giveaway. We are this close and somebody's going to win it all. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Check out my Patreon page in the description below. Flower Gold Wizards, out.